Hello everyone! So here is the video everyone's been asking for since I showed my little haul with all the new Doodlebug Sprinkles vellum, and I'd mentioned in that video that I couldn't wait to make some die cut flowers with it. So I pulled out the Cupcake Sprinkles vellum and my MFT Hybrid Camellia Flower Dynamics and die cut all the pieces I needed for the flowers. So the spiral piece, you only need one. The other two dies in the set you die cut twice so that you have 5 pieces altogether. And then for the base, you just put some adhesive in the middle there, and then the flowers kind of interlock, which is really, or the petals interlock, which is really cool. And I just use my Tombow Monomulti when I make my vellum flowers. No different than the plain vellum ones I've made. This one's just really fun because, yeah, it's pink and it's polka dotted. So you can adhere that little kind of bow tie shaped piece. You can adhere those separately if you want and then glue them to the main flower. I just do it all in layers. It ends up being the same anyways. So for the spiral part, you could use tweezers or your fingers if you're, good at that. But I really like this little petal roller tool from AmyR's. So I just grab the furthest edge with the tool. There's that little notch in there, and then I just spin it until I've got the whole center all nicely rolled up. And then in the middle there is a nice little spot to adhere everything. And again, I just use my Tombow Monomulti. When I'm using heavier like cardstock or felt or anything like that, I like using hot glue because it holds a little bit more, just because this likes to unwind. But when it's vellum, it really adheres quite well with just the Tombow Monomulti. So I just take the tool out, kind of fiddle with it a bit, and then just hold it until it dries, which only takes about a minute. And then once the center is done, I'm going to adhere that to the rest of the flower, and that's all there is to it. So it makes the cutest flower. I love making these like dimensional vellum flowers, and now that I've got this Sprinkles vellum, you have like so many options. It's just fun. So once I was done with that, I went on to the rest of my card. So I die cut a piece of white cardstock with the mini album Fancy Ticket Stacks Dynamics, and then I grabbed some stamps from my Easter Blessings stamp set and my new favorite black ink, which is the Hero Arts Black. And I'm using my stamp positioner so that I can get everything lined up the way I want it on this die cut piece. So I'm going to stamp the main sentiment first. And then I've got a few different little companion stamps within the set, so you can kind of customize it to how you want. So I chose the little Blessings stamp, so I lined that up on my stamp positioner as well, and then inked it up and stamped that into place. And then I had die cut a piece of Doodlebug textured cardstock. So kind of, I think that would probably be the Cupcake cardstock as well. I just get it in multi-packs. And then I also die cut some leaves using my all-time favorite, the Layered Leaves Dynamics, and a couple different shades of green cardstock. And then finally, to tie in the green a little bit more, I had some American Crafts hemp cord in almost the same shade of green as the leaves. So I doubled that up and then wrapped it around this little fancy ticket piece and tied it in a bow. And then I'm adding just some dimensionals just so it's popped up off the card a little bit. So get those all the backings off and then center that on my little card front and then figure out where I want the leaves. And I just add a little bit of adhesive to the very base of them. So you've got a lot of options with these. We showed them during their release however many months ago, but you can layer them or you can use just one piece at a time. I love this set because you just have so many options with it, and I just love the look of it too. So once I got the leaves in place, I didn't want to adhere the flower until I got all the layers adhered first because it's just easier that way. So I matted that on a piece of black cardstock, and then my card base is a piece of 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 inch cardstock, and I'll score that at the 4 1/4 inch mark. So then I've got a 4 1/4 inch square card. So got that scored, and it's my go-to CC Designs 110-pound cardstock. That is my absolute favorite cardstock for white card bases because it's super sturdy. So got that all adhered, and then while I was doing that, I remembered all the sequins I had bought. So pulled out the Cupcake sequins, and then my new that multi-medium mat that I had bought in my last little haul video. So I thought I'd try that out with the sequins, and I really like it for something like this. Like, it holds really, really well. You just need a tiny little dab of it, press the sequin on, and I definitely like it for this. I'll be using this from now on instead of the Tombow Mono Multi. And then I thought I'd try it for the flower while I was at it as well. And it does hold, it's a lot more slippery with something as big as this than the Tombow. It takes a little bit longer to dry, but once it is dry, it is like not going anywhere. So I'll probably still prefer my Tombow for like larger elements like this, but for tiny little things like the sequins, I do really like that multi-medium matte. So once I was done all that, I die cut another piece of white cardstock with the fancy ticket stacks. And I inked up another stamp from the Easter Blessings set, and then decided where I wanted it to go on this piece. I wanted to leave enough space to be able to write something. So I decided to stamp it in the lower right there and use my stamp positioner, so I've got it all straight. And then I die cut another square piece of the vellum. So this is another way you can use it. I did this on some cards I'd posted on my blog and didn't do a video on, but just used it as kind of like a background piece. So I adhered the main little panel there to that, and then flip it over and I'll apply the adhesive just to the area that's already covered with the cardstock, because with vellum you can see the adhesive through, but with this it's really nice. You can add little dabs behind the little polka dots and it hides the adhesive. So I adhered that to the inside of my card, and that's all there was to it. So as always, there will be a link below the video to my blog post, and in the blog post there'll be links to all the supplies used. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!